I was on Twitter as I usually am, and I was scrolling through my timeline, and I saw a post that Vicky Diller had posted up on her page, and I saw something that said, okay, now I'm going to have to speak out about this, of course. And I said, you know what? It's going to rub a lot of black women the wrong way, but in a way, many of you bought this on yourselves. With all the warning signs that we have given you over the years, and you still decided to ignore them, this is what some of you get, those of you who champion behind this behavior. So in this picture, you see 5 individuals. I'm just going to tell you this all right now. If they all look like they have a strong jawline, that's because they do. All 5 of these individuals are XY chromosome carrying biologically born males who now choose to live their life as a quote unquote woman. Now you're probably wondering, where did I get this picture from? Well, according to Essence, they have this annual celebration of black women in Hollywood. And they are honoring these 5 here because of this show that comes on called Pose, which is basically a show about, I guess you can say, transgendered individuals, where in the cast, they actually have people of the Alphabet Academy and people who are part of the T class who are in that show. As a matter of fact, that's how the world has come now to know Billy Porter, because that's the show he's on. So now you see where I'm going with this. Now, the reason why I say black women in particular, you're going to have to hold this L, because look at who they're trying to emulate. You. These are biologically born, as far as I know, black males who are now, so quote unquote, transformed into quote unquote women. Like I always said, people who are part of the T class, they use the cheat code in order to get in where they thought they could fit in. They're trying to replace you. I think I did a video months ago, maybe even a couple years ago, where I was saying that they were trying to replace you. But many of you keep saying, no, they're not trying to replace us. They're just doing their own thing. Let them live their life. I was like, okay, I left it alone. And look, it's revved up since then. They are doing, ignore that in the background. They are doing their best they can to replace you. Now, the name of this event is called Essence, Black Women in Hollywood. The key words there are black women. These 5 are not women. And one of them, when I was looking through like the list, was that Angelica Ross person. If y'all remember, I did a video about that person sometime a few months ago when they were on some kind of a panel, and they were talking about, I think they were talking like cash shit about black men while uplifting this white man who was who they gave all types of passes to say the N-word and all types of stuff to them. So it's amazing how this person has managed to be a coon and a bed wench all in one entity. And they probably prefer it to be that way. But the name of the event is called Black Women in Hollywood. They are honoring people who went under the knife, or probably prepared to alter their physical appearance to look like that of another gender, and they're calling them a woman. Now, isn't it amazing that they're giving them these awards ahead of, say, 5 other black, actual, naturally born women? Now, I was looking at the list. There are actually some women that are actually going to be in attendance, but the fact of the matter is they're honoring this show that caters to that. And for some reason, it seems like if you speak out about it, they're going to label you homophobic. If you don't say anything, then you're condoning it. So it's like a double-edged sword here. And it's crazy because you have this going on and you'll have women out there saying, where's the men at? If they're not dead or locked up, they're trying to be you, black woman. Or they're trying to be your little friend that, you know, probably if they could skip down the yellow brick road with Dorothy, if you get what I mean. Again, When you say where the men at, most of them are probably dead, in jail, or trying to become you. Because it seems like that's the only way black men can be accepted in this society, is one of those three ways. Because they don't see us as human. Well, they don't see the heterosexual black man as human, but anything else is fine. That's fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this. Now it's crazy because I'm looking at the Essence website. And also when I'm reading the title, it says to honor Poe's series. Melina Matsakis, Nisa Nash, and Lashana Lynch. The three women who are actually named by name are actually women. Now, it's amazing that they are honoring an entire series that's dedicated to this. They're labeling them as black women, and they named them first in the list over actual black women. So in a way, they have already put them above you. Sometimes context is all that is needed. The annual celebration will shine a spotlight on several black women in Hollywood who are owning their narrative and transforming the art of storytelling. I thought that was interesting that they put that word transforming. Look at the picture. The art of storytelling. Essence is ushering in a new decade of award seasons and continuing to our 50-year tradition of serving black women deeply with our 2020 Black Women in Hollywood Awards, returning to the Beverly Wilshire in Beverly Hills, California on February 6th and presented by Ford, while sponsored by AT&T Humanity Connection, Geico, L'Oreal Paris, and Netflix. Our highly anticipated annual celebration will shine a deserving spotlight on several black women in Hollywood who are owning their narrative and transforming the art of storytelling. The coveted Oscar week event is set to honor Emmy Award-winning actress, comedian, director, and producer Niecy Nash, DGA-nominated director and two-time Grammy Award-winning music video director Melina Matsakis, actress Lashana Lynch, and trailblazing cast and co-executive producer, director, writer of Pose, Janet Mock, who is also a biologically born male. Ironically, their last name is Mock because they are mocking that of what is supposed to be a woman. MJ Rodriguez, India Moore, Dominique Jackson, Angelica Ross, and Haley Sahar. All of those are biologically born men. I have really nothing left to say. I think my point here has been proven. But see, we have been trying to tell people to push back against this for years. But see, now it might be too late because the Alphabet Academy has gotten so much ammo, especially from the government, to continue to push this narrative. But they're doing it mainly at the expense of black women for black women to mock them, and black men because they're using is a further emasculating tool. So we're getting hit from both angles, but it's one group in particular that should have been more vocal, and that's the one that they're trying to imitate. At this point, they've got you. They've caught up, and that's why we always tell black women to be your natural self. Because see, if you're your natural self, and your natural state, it would be hard for them to imitate that. You even have some people who are palm colored in the T class who try to imitate you. And they're getting so much surgeries now that sometimes you can't even tell if that is a man or a woman. Years ago, you could easily tell that's who it was. Even today, with some of you can tell. Like I said, that jawline will tell it all. But many of you asked for it, and like I said before, you even have in the 2020 Olympics where they are possibly going to allow people who are biologically born a man, who are considered trans, to be able to compete against women in women's sports and women's events. They're cheating. They know they're going to win because of the testosterone. That testosterone will always be there no matter how much estrogen pills they take. That testosterone and that muscle endurance will always be there. But we warned you. And most of you didn't heed to the warning. Now you must suffer the consequences. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all follow me on Twitter and have the notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.